Hello everyone, welcome back. Today is day 5 of our money mindset challenge, and guys, congratulations for keeping it up till this far. Today's challenge, or rather today, we'll be discussing how to change your mind around your debts. Okay guys, how do you view your debts is the most important thing, rather than the debt itself, but how you view your debt is the most important thing. Guys, debt is not a bad thing. It just becomes bad because it's perceived to be bad. Debt can either be a bad thing or a good thing, depending on how you look at it, right? And if you want to be financially abundant and debt-free, you have to change the way you are looking at your debts. If you perceive your debt to be a bad thing, you will always resent your current debt, and you will run away from it, and you will be ashamed of it. And guess what? It will always haunt you, and it will be around for longer. So if you want to be debt-free, financially free, abundant, you have to change your mind around your debts. Your debts are never a bad thing, guys. Your debts are actually a good thing, because remember, when you were making that debt, you were desperate at the time, right? You wanted this thing so much, and some institution, either in the form of a bank or a credit company or a school, they trusted you enough to give you their money, or they trusted you enough to let you study for free while you are still owing them. So at the time you felt like you won, right? So you have actually won. You did win at the time. So now that you don't need the money anymore, or now that you have exhausted the funds, why all of a sudden are you feeling that your debts are a burden? No, your debts are not a burden, guys. Your debts are actually a blessing in disguise. Alright? You have to start looking at your debt as a blessing instead of looking at it as a curse. It is a blessing. It is a blessing because it was used to add value to your life at the time. You didn't go into debt just for the sake of going into debt, right? You went into debt because you wanted to improve your life at that time, or you wanted to improve the life of your loved one at the time, or you wanted whatever the situation that you had to attend to at the time. You didn't just go into debt for nothing, guys. So stop looking at your debt as a curse now. All right? Think of all the financial institutions that trusted you with their money. Think of the banks, think of the credit businesses, think of that person who trusted you enough to borrow you their money without the security of knowing that you will pay it back. So you have to start thanking the institutions for borrowing your money. You have to think back as to why you made the debt in the first place, right? So guys, our debts are a blessing in disguise, because without that debt you wouldn't be where you are today. For example, if it's a study loan, obviously you wouldn't have the degree that you're having today if it wasn't of that institution that borrowed you money. Or if you were buying clothes for your kids for Christmas, for example, if you didn't have that money at the time, or if you were not approved for that debt at the time, your children would not have spent Christmas the same way that they did after you got the money. So stop looking at that as if it's a crime or a curse or something that's unacceptable, right? So yes guys, that's about it, about the debt. We just have to we just have to remember why we made it in the first place. Because now it's becoming a burden, because actually we didn't appreciate what it did for us, or we were not grateful of what it did for us. You were grateful at the time, but now it's been months or years now, so you have even forgotten why you did it you made a debt in the first place. So guys, you have to reflect back and remember why you are where you are, why you are owing a credit card 12,000 rand at the current moment, why you are owing tuition fees of 7,000 rand, why you are owing your every single debt that you have. Please take it, put it forward, and try to reflect back why you made it in the first place. And you will only realize that you made it because at the time it was necessary, at the time it was much needed thing, right? So yeah guys, that's about it. So today's lesson is going to be very short, because debt is very straightforward. It is very straightforward. You just have to consider it as an investment instead of a debt. An investment that you made on yourself to improve your life. Finish and start. Right? So let's get down to today's business. Alright? So you write in your journal, you take all your debts, long-term and otherwise. You look back and you remember why you had them in the first place. Correct? The debt, remember at the time when you were taking the debt, it was making so much sense, and you were actually happy and relieved that you managed to secure the funds, right? So write down, if you have, I'll take an example of a tuition loan, right? You have a tuition loan of 12,000, or you have a study loan of 12,000. You have to put it on the subheading to say tuition loan, and then you write all the things that you benefited from the tuition loan, right? From, okay, the benefits of the tuition loan is, for example, I'll say you studied stress-free, while kids without the study loan were struggling. And then other than that, you had all the textbooks at the time, and then you had food to eat, and then you had residence where you were staying. So those are the benefits of your debts, of your tuition debts. So those are the benefits. And then what can you say after listing all the benefits of the debt? You can say, okay, how did this debt change my life? Like, okay, before you went to college or before you went to university, clearly you didn't have a degree in business management. So now you have gained something, some valuable thing that nobody can take away from you. Remember, the debt is payable, but the degree is yours for life. So you have to look at something that you gain from this debt. Okay, and then you say, okay, now I know I gained a degree in business management, and if it wasn't of this degree, I wouldn't be working where I am working today, or I wouldn't be doing the business that I am doing today, or I wouldn't be having the knowledge that I am having today, right? So even if you have a debt, at least you gained a whole lot. It was worth it at the end of the day. So you have to look at the benefits of the debt and what you gained. Okay, well, it's more or less the same thing, but the benefits were, okay, how did your debt help you overcome the situation at the time? If you didn't have any debt, or if you were not, if you didn't manage to secure the fund, how would your life be as compared to you after securing the fund? I hope you get my point, guys. So yeah, think of all the good things. Studying for free, this is the degree that I have. If it wasn't of this degree, I wouldn't be working where I am working now. I wouldn't be qualifying for this position. I wouldn't be qualifying for this course if you want to further your studies, right? So guys, you have to start thanking your debts. You have to start thanking them and appreciating them. for what they did for you, right? And then you also have to start thanking whoever trusted you with their money when you needed it the most. If it's the bank, instead of you insulting the bank that this bank, they're making money out of me, this bank are charging me ridiculous fees, blah 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 blah, thank the institution for trusting you with their money, right? And then the interest that they will be charging you, take it as a positive thing to say, okay, my interest is helping the bank to operate. If it wasn't of my interest, then there wouldn't be any banks. Therefore, there would be a struggle if we needed money to borrow, right? So instead of you insulting the banks, instead of you insulting the credit institutions, rather thank them for their help when you need it, and the interest that they are charging you, you better view it as a positive, to say, okay, at least I am contributing to keep the bank alive for people who need funds, and for myself in the future if I happen to need money, right? That is part one of the challenge. And then part two of the challenge, guys, it's very interesting. I want you to listen very carefully on this one. You have to draw out a plan of how you wish to settle the debt. How you wish. Please bear in mind, I'm saying how you wish. I'm not saying how you are planning to settle the debt, right? Even if you don't have any money at the moment, you can't even afford to buy a loaf of bread or anything. Just draw a plan of saying, if I had money, this is how I was going to pay the debt, right? You're just making a wish plan. Yeah, can I call it a wish plan, to say, if I had money right now, I would be paying 50 rand per month to this bank or to this education institution, or to anybody who gave you the money, right? Write down a plan that is more believable to you. Remember, if you are trying to manifest something, if you are trying to come up with a plan of something, you should write something that you believe you can achieve. If you are saying, if you are owing 12,000 a month, and you say, okay, the plan is to pay 6,000 and 6,000, then I'm done in 2 months. Do you believe it? Do you believe that you can do it? Or it doesn't even feel good to you, coming from you, to say, I'll pay 6,000 and I'll pay 6,000 and I'm done in 2 months? Or if you say, I'll pay 50 rand per month until I finish off my debt, which one is more believable to you? I'm not trying to restrict you here. I'm just saying manifestation and faith. Remember, you have to have faith in what you are trying to manifest in order to manifest it. You cannot manifest something that's not believable to you. Like, for example, you cannot say, I'll pay 12,000 at once and not believe it in your heart. Because if you say, I'll pay 12,000 a month and you don't believe it, it's not gonna come. The 12,000 for you to pay the debt is not gonna come. But if you say something that you believe, I'm not saying you should be realistic, I'm just saying it should be believable to you. Even if you say, okay, I'll pay 1,000 per month, as long as you believe it's possible, then do it. I'll pay 3,000 a month, as long as it sits well with you, then write it. But it's a plan that you wish to pay in the future. So guys, if you believe it in your heart that you will pay 500 per month, and 500 will come from somewhere out of nowhere, believe me, it will come. You just have to believe. You just have to believe that God will provide. You just have to believe that the universe will provide, and believe me, it will come, right? So guys, yeah, that's about it for today. Thank you very much for tuning in again, and I will see you again tomorrow for day 6. And guys, I have committed to being here. I will be here. I might be late because of the challenges, the technical errors, the technical challenges, me being late because of traffic or anything. But I'll definitely show up like I promised for the rest of the 7 days. So guys, love you very much. Have a lovely day. Thank you, bye.